What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Ready to See podcast. This is your host, Cristopher Zamora. Welcome to the show. So today, guys, I would like to speak to you about the movie called Backrooms. Well, I gotta say, the trailer is intriguing. Like, the cinematography is definitely top notch. And I feel like if this movie gets nominated for the Oscars, I feel like there's a good chance that maybe it might win for best cinematography, to be honest. And the story overall, it seems like a very intriguing plot. It was all based off a Reddit post that happened, I think maybe like back in 2019. To be honest, I don't really know much about it, but and there was also like a series about it on YouTube. But the Backrooms movie, from what I saw, it does look intriguing, but there's potential that maybe this film could be too overhyped and maybe it might not even do so well. Probably the audience and even the critics might not even like it. It'll be too much hyped. And probably once we get the full movie out, maybe it's gonna be a letdown. I don't know, man. That's just my gut feeling about this movie. Like I said, I'm not saying anything wrong about the cinematography, but it could potentially be a letdown, man. Hopefully not, but it could potentially be a good one. But that's my gut telling me about this film. There's a lot of hype for this movie. Like, a lot of people, horror fans and people who have seen the Reddit posts or seen the series on YouTube, they have been waiting for this movie to actually see it. Well, to be honest, this film just came out of nowhere, to be honest. And I think the actual creator, I think his name is Kane Parsons, I believe. Yeah, Kane Parsons. He's a British American filmmaker and a visual effects artist. He's the actual person who created this series. And he's a 20-year-old dude. A 20-year-old guy who directed this series. And now he got the chance to actually direct a movie out of this. Backrooms. He created the series. And now he directed the actual movie itself. So that's awesome for him. But he is like the youngest director ever for an A24 movie. Yeah, A24 is the people who are behind this film. They're putting the money on this film. And at 20 years old, Kane Parsons actually got to direct Backrooms. That's pretty awesome, man. For a 20-year-old, man, when I was at 20 years old, I was just barely starting college. His name, Kane Parsons, Kane, it is spelled with the same as like the actual wrestler. I just noticed that. Kane Parsons. Maybe his parents were a huge fan of Kane and maybe they just named him that. Well, I could be wrong, But Kane Parsons, that's awesome for him, man. At 20 years old, he got to direct Backrooms. This is the very first movie, and if it does really well, oh man, lots of doors could really open for this kid, man. He's just 20 years old, and damn, that's such an awesome opportunity that he got. Like I said, if it does really good, man, he's gonna keep directing more and more films. Just like, maybe it could be this too early to compare, but maybe like Steven Spielberg in some way. I feel like Steven Spielberg, he was like very young when he started directing his films. Let me see, how old was he when Jaws came out? Steven Spielberg was 26 years old when Jaws came out. At 26 years old, man. Jaws, that was one of his biggest first hits for Steven Spielberg. And now for Kane Parsons at 20 years old, man, directing Backrooms. Let's see, man. For Backrooms, there's a good chance that maybe it would do well, like I said. But maybe the storyline could be a little bit confusing for some people, and probably that might be the reason it might get better reviews because of the storyline. Or maybe not a lot of horror stuff happen in this movie. Not a lot of scary scenes happen in this movie. But we will see once that movie comes out. That's my main concern for this film. Maybe there's not a lot of jump scares, and maybe it doesn't show that much stuff. I know some films that have become cult classics like that, like the Blair Witch Project. That was one of them. Paranormal Activity 1 and 2. Well, the second one, we actually got to see them drag the people, and also on the first one, but we didn't see much as well. There has been a few films just like that, like Final Destination, that became a worldwide franchise that lots of people have enjoyed. You don't really see the bad guy at all. It's just objects just killing other people, you know? But yeah, the Backrooms. It's just called Backrooms, but Backrooms, that's awesome, man. There is a lot of hype for the film, and hopefully it does well. The plot of this movie is about, well, from what I saw on the trailer, is about this man. He just got transferred to some place called the Backrooms, and it's like a huge maze that keeps on going on and on and on. And if you don't know from which place you came from, then you can get lost on there. It's just like a huge maze. And like I said, it's an intriguing story, but it just depends if there's a lot of scares and the story makes sense for this film. I'll give it a chance, okay? I'll give this movie a chance, but that's what I think about Backrooms. Maybe it could be a letdown. Like, it should be a film that should be very good, but if it lets down people, that's gonna suck for the director and also for this film. Like, maybe it might not even get its budget back. Maybe it might do bad on the box office. But as of right now, people are thirsty to look for new things. And this film is one of those films that people are looking forward to. To be honest, there's been lots of talks about this film online, especially Twitter. Once that trailer came out, I saw lots of people, like, they were engaging with this film, like, they're saying that it looks exciting. I can't wait to see it. And yeah, to be honest, it does look like a good movie. But I have my doubts, to be honest. Maybe it could be a 6 out of 10, to be honest. Like, it could probably end up being like a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. If it's like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, that would be insane, man. Or close to there, like close to 100%. Like, if the critics actually love it, ooh, then that's a guarantee that the audience score is going to definitely be high in Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, like, just looking overall at the trailer, it does look intriguing, but I still have my doubts for it, you know. And yeah, guys, that is it for this podcast. Hey, thank you so much for listening. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to follow this podcast on whichever platform you are listening to it. If you are listening to it on Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, make sure to follow it. And also recommend this podcast to a friend or a neighbor that actually likes listening to stuff about horror stuff. Maybe they will enjoy this podcast as much as you do. And yeah, guys, that is it for today. Take care and live to the fullest. Bye.